Recap, Family Reunion 2021. The excitement as the family of the Alliance came together. First agency manager dinner, what happens? A whole new, improved promotion schedule. Megan Wood gets up here and gets a new all-expense-paid trip because she's issue paid over $500 million in less than half of a year, and then she talks about how she did it. Then what do? We roll in the CEO of Integrity Marketing, Brian Adams. What's next? Unbelievable. Brian Tracy shows up. So people are bouncing off the walls. We think it can't get better. But Vanilla Ice, Rob Van Winkle, shows up. So he agrees to an interview. He comes back out with his whole music entourage. People knew the songs, they were breakdancing, and this is the first night. This is the first night, and people are losing it. What happens the next day? How do you top it? I got an idea. Let's give away $100,000 on stage to the people that brought the most organizations to the meeting. If you missed it and you want to be at the next one, I highly recommend you sign up quickly. We're going to invest heavy. We're going to go big. Family Reunion was incredible. Family, the friends, the association, the food, the education, and the entertainment. What kind of a package is that? National convention. Off the charts, baby. I will guarantee you. Come see it. See you then. World, watch. You're gonna see something you ain't never seen before. Is about ready to see what the Alliance can do, baby. Alaska, baby. The last great frontier. Maybe, I don't know, Alaska. It's cold up there, so I got my jacket on, and they got ice glaciers. We're going to cruise Alaska. It's not just a cruise, it's a journey. The ovation of the seas. We are going cruising. And where are we going while we're cruising in Alaska? Juneau. Yes, I know, it's Juneau. It is the largest capital in the United States of America. You're going to see orcas, you're going to see
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Activity Call Live. Filmed today in beautiful Burlington, North Carolina. Now, let's hear our special guest host, Jeff Wright.
Woohoo! All right, am I coming in loud and clear? Surprise, I'm not Jeff Wright, but I am going to be reading the activity numbers for you before we get started. We're going to start from total production issue paid top 10. In top 10, we got Brian and Crystalline Rojas with $12,816. Number 9, Jeremy and Amy Patton with $13,014. Number 8, Abel and Alma Luna with $14,209. Number 7, Sue Love with $14,400. Number 6, my buddy Katrina Gustin came in with $14,480. Number 5, Lenore's Washington with $15,475. Number 4, Megan Wood, $15,926. Number 3, Marcus Garoulet. Sorry if I butchered that. I think that's what you say. Marcus Garoulet with $16,843. Number 2, Hutch Hutchinson with $18,975. And in number 1 with a smoking $26,605, Marty and Diana Doche. Total annuity sales paid top 10. We've got Mike Swells with $33,487. Number 9, Jeff Turner and Kelly Haney with $39,148. Number 8, Brandon Manley, $57,323. Number 7, Marvin and Rachel Osuna, $64,384. Number 6, Jeremy and Amy Patton with $88,309. Number 5, Katrina Gustin with $100,000. Number 4, Cody Poirier with $101,067. Number 3, my buddy Suresh with $114,588. Number 2, Marcus Garoulet with $156,591. And in number 1, Marty Doge with $250,267. Total sales submitted top 10. We've got Tim Sight, my buddy, $9,398. Number 9, Brittany Flores with $9,530. Number 8, Joseph 2, $10,170. Number 7, Jonathan and Megan Yankee, $12,011. Number 6, Marvin and Julissa Otsoy with $12,219. Number 5, Robert Wilson, $15,898. Number 4, Hutch Hutchinson with $15,936. Number 3, Kyle and Janina Wilson with $18,845. Number 2, Sue Love with $20,400. And number 1 with the spanking $21,386, Megan Wood. Top recruiters for this week, top 10, Mike and Kate Maurice came in with 1. Andy Riddle, David Townsend, Evan Patzer, Braden and Ashley Beal, Sebastian Chambers, Olga and Jason Mathis all came in with 2 recruits for the week. And in number 2, we've got Fitzgerald and Alexis Brown tied with 3 recruits. And number 4, my buddies, Mercedes and Gustavo Teran, congratulations with 4 recruits for the week. All right, everybody. So I'm going to hand it back to Jeff Wright. Congratulations to everybody.
Unmuted here. I'm unmuted now. Hello, everybody. Happy Friday to you all. Kyle, did you want to say something, Kyle, a while ago?
I was just going to tell her about the screen. Couldn't see the numbers, but she got it right.
Okay. I'm just making sure.
Thanks, brother.
You're welcome. All right. So we're going to talk about animals and community and whatever topics come to my head when I'm looking at these sheets of paper in front of me. But we got some guests on here. We got Kyle Harry, and he's going to tell you some stories about community. And so is Lou Abadi, and so is Terry Edwards. And then I got a special guest here, newly engaged lady named Amanda Heimer. And I've been working with her and her mom, and that's been a good experience. And I want to talk to her a little bit. Amanda, are you in shock today that you're on this call? I surprised you, didn't I? Yeah. Okay. All right. So let me just kind of like finish up what I talked about last week, and then I'm going to introduce my big 3 on here is Terry, Lou, and Kyle, because they have communities that they have already started. Lou has a community. I'm calling these Zoom calls community Zooms, simply because to me that's what it is. It's a community Zoom. And Kyle's created one. Terry has, it's more than a community Zoom. It's a freaking movement, the Dream Factory. He's doing great things. And he and I have talked long and hard of how to create the perfect community, and we're still trying to do that, aren't we, brother? Yeah.
Most certainly.
So work in progress, but we're getting there. It's a model. Terry is a model to follow. So if you want to know what a community should look like, the Dream Factory is one of them. We'll talk about some of our trade secrets. And they're really not that secret, are they, Terry? It's just pretty daggum simple, isn't it? But yeah, some of it comes right out of that book. All right, so I'm going to tell you the definition of community. We're going to get into that and get our guest on. But I wanted to finish up something I started on Wednesday about talking to these animals, and then we'll fit the animals back into this discussion. But I think some of you had texted me, and I got a lot of good feedback when I started going down this little road about how to talk to the certain animals that you might meet along the way when you're trying to sell in the home. And I think I went over the lion and I went over the otter, and I think I should probably go back over that for the new people on this call. Some of you don't know what a lion is, an otter is, a golden, and a beaver. I'm sorry that you don't know that by now, but there's the 4 types of animals that represent the 4 types of personalities that you might run into in the home. The lion's pretty aggressive type of person, pretty blunt, pretty bold. Bold's pretty good word for a lion. The otter, very, they like to shine. They got a lot of charisma. They're very social animals. And then the golden retrievers, a very loyal animal, very steady, very reliable, good people, golden retrievers. And then you got the beaver, who is my polar opposites. I'm going to try to find some good things to say about them right now. It's just a struggle for me, but I would say that they are very conscientious. That's a good word. They're very orderly. They're concerned for getting it right the first time. It's I don't know. It's amazing. I need some of those organizational skills myself. I know that when I am not succeeding, I try to do the polar opposite of myself as far as the animal. So some of you, if you are a certain animal, don't look to the ones that are right beside you. Look at the one that's diagonally across from you, that you're polar opposite. And if you're not being successful during the week, try to grab a hold of some of the traits of your opposite. That's what I would say to you. Same thing goes with you beavers out there. I know you don't want to be like me, but there's some things I do well you might want to take notice of and probably copy also. If I'm willing to copy you, you should be willing to copy me. Makes the world go round. So talking to the lion, an aggressive type of person's got a lot of urgency about them. Let's go, let's move. What are we wasting some time here? Time's a burning. I said the other day, you don't want to power up with these people. You don't want to try to get into a debate with them. You don't want to tell them, oh, I think you did fill out this leave. By God, here it is. Let me put it in your face. Do you see it? Do you see it? Now, you don't want to do that with these lions. You could get a black eye. Or thrown out of their house. So let's talk about how to be a power up in a friendly way, which I said you should stare at them while they're talking, lock eyes, don't look away. That's about as much powering up that you should try to muster in this situation. You're going to get yourself in trouble if you go past that. But staring them in their eyes and locking eyes is a good method to let them go ahead and get all this out, let them vent. Let them finish, and then the 5-second rule takes over. Count 5 seconds after they've got done before you speak your piece. Okay? Now, the otter, I said you should mirror the otter. I know literally some of you took it like, because I use this example, and it's my mistake to make sure that you understand this today. I don't want you to take it so literally, but you do mirror the otter. The otter is an egomaniac. They like their ego to be stroked. So mirroring the otter is a good idea. You want to validate them with flattery. When you do talk to them, you want to make comments like, oh, wow, I can't believe it. You did what? Oh, my God. Oh, my God. They love that. Oh, my God. That's something they've done. All right. Now, mirroring them physically. Okay, I did an example of that. I know I did. If they lean back in the chair, there you go, Terry. Let's do it. Me and you, Terry. We lean back. I lean forward. Let me tell you something. Terry leaned forward. Now, I said if I scratch my head, I don't want Terry to scratch his. He can do something. Something like that. Yeah. They want to get in there with the good stuff. Let's get in here and let's mirror each other. Now, another thing you want to do while they're talking, and you ought to, flatter them. You also want them to feel like that whatever they're saying is the first time you heard it. So you need to act shocked. You really need to act shocked. And some of you are going to have to practice your acting skills. The otter is an easy mark because they want their ego stroke so bad, they will not see it as you're trying to be insincere. They'll eat that stuff up. They're almost blind because of their ego to you trying to do these silly little politic tricks to get them to meet you halfway. Now, the other two are very interesting. Very interesting. Let me say this. When you're dealing with the golden retriever, I can't show you my hands. They're down here. I'm going to have to lean up or something. So you want to be compassionate at the same time, listen to them. Because they want to be accepted really bad, and they don't feel like they ever have been accepted. So they just kind of hide. They hide in the wallpaper or the paint. That you don't ever see them. They're just not recognizable, and they want to be recognized. They want to have somebody listen to them, but they're not going to force themselves on anybody. So when they're talking, you don't want to interrupt them. They're used to being interrupted, and they'll have a lot of manners while you interrupt them. They'll stop talking and then start listening to you. But this is not about you. It's about them. So don't interrupt them. Don't talk while they're talking. Don't make comments like, oh my God, don't do that to them. You want to do, they're golden retrievers. You want to turn your head when they're talking. Then turn your head again. And you want to go, gosh, and this is what you want to do with your hands. You want to put your hands out when you're talking. You want to do this cradle motion. You want to put your hands out like this because you're saying, hey, when they're saying something sincere, they need a hug, put your hands out. You want to go the docile mode. You want to put your hands down in your lap. That means you're ready to hear what they're going to say. You're not going to talk while they're talking. But when you feel like, hey, they just need a friend, you want to cradle your hands while they're talking, because all this tells them this is how you want them to feel while they're talking. You want to make them feel like, hey, it's going to be all right. They need a lot of sympathy, a lot of sympathy. Now, the beaver, on the other hand, they need clarifying stuff for the beaver. Absolutely makes them feel like they can trust you. So you want to be transparent as you can and not have an agenda with them, and you want to ask clarifying questions. And when you're asking these questions, you want to ask questions they know the answer to. And you need to act stupid while they answer. And when they say something, whatever they say, you want to write it down. Go, oh, this is good. Let me write this down. And then you want to do this while they're talking. Oh, yeah. Like what they've just said has introduced the meaning of life to you. And then when they say something, go, okay, oh, that's good. And you want to write that down. And you want to ask them questions that they can handle and that leads them to what you're trying to do. Let them lead you by you asking the questions to lead them. That's just some tactics on them. All right. We're going to come back to the animals, but I want to talk about community for a minute and get my guest on here. So Terry has done a lot of extensive training with his group, and I've been a part of that. And we have talked about community. And I like this quote. Buddha once said, "Thousands of candles can be lighted from a single candle." What he's saying there is a community's candle becomes eternal when it burns to a common cause. Your community must have a common cause, or there are going to be a lot of single lit candles. Take all those single lit candles and bring them into one candle. That's the beauty of creating a community. Getting people to be, comfortable with each other. I have a united mindset. I always said this. I always love this quote by Plato, and I think there's a lot here that a lot of people don't understand how this factors into community. You can discover more about a person in an hour of play than you can in a year of conversation. The faster you can get these people comfortable with each other, this is what I wrote about this in the book. One can look at building community as parallel to having fun. That's how you build a community, is getting people comfortable and having fun. This type of camaraderie indicates that members of the organization feel a sense of friendship and trust one another. So that's what we're working on, is trying to get people to feel that sense of a play while we're together, even though we're in a situation where we're trying to produce premium. Terry, talk about some of your recipes on how to make this happen within the Dream Factory.
Sweet. Thanks so much, Jeff, for having me on the call, man. I'm super fired up. One, let me go ahead and put this disclaimer out there. We are not perfect. We're building something, but like Jeff said, it's a work in progress. When building a community, I think about the show that used to come on, I might date myself a little bit, called Cheers. Everybody want to go where everybody knows my name. So like when we're building culture within our team and within the office, just kick the shoes off that they're at home. That was even very intentional with the the type of furniture that we have. If you come in our office, we got a lot of pieces that look like home, not cute. You know, I'm not against cubicles. I ain't saying that. What I'm saying is it feels very homey. Because the other thing too is we call our office the Dream Factory. Why do we call our office the Dream Factory? Because everybody has a dream. I don't care who you are. They may have lost that dream. They may have forgotten about that dream. They may have had that dream beaten out of them by negative Nancy's and Debbie the Downers. But I want them to remember the dream. What is it that you want the next 90 days, the next 5 years, the next 50 years to look like? So we do a lot of dream building, talking about what a person wants to get them dreaming again. Somebody said this right here. A lot of people die by the age of 25. We just don't bury them until later on. Because by the time they get 25, they just get into a routine of just survival mode. They're not thinking about, we live in a land of abundance. Do we have some numbers to back up kind of what we're doing? Yeah. Our hierarchy issue paid numbers is up about 34% over the last 6 months. Our unique writers, we average about 34 unique writers a month, which is up about 37% from last year. We've helped over 100 people get paid this year. We broke out our first agency manager, Mia Fennell. So is what we're doing working? I think so. So the dream is important, but also that the factory. If you think about a factory, it's very mundane. It's very systematic. Like you got to do part A before it can get to department B. Department B do their job and get it to department C. So that's the same way that we kind of have a process of onboarding people, not to make people feel like they're on an assembly line, but also to make it, but really to make it specific for what they want. I was reminded this week, Quincy Washington, one of the guys that's been on our team, his kids stay with him part-time and they're with their mom part-time. Jeff, it didn't occur to me that when people are in that situation, the kids got to pack clothes from week to week to take from one house to another house. Because of this business, Quincy Washington is doing this business on a part-time basis. He got a full-time job. He's doing this on the side. But because of the income that he's generating, he told the story this week that he went out and just took the kids shopping so that they can have a full set of clothes at his house, not just at the mom's house. Like, to some people, that's a very small dream. But to Quincy, that's a monumental dream come true of his. So we're not treating people like they're just a cog in the wheel. Where Tia is very intentional. Tia, I take my hats off to her. I like to say that she's the heartbeat of the office and the of the facility, because she knows when people need that gentle hug. Sometimes I miss it, but she knows the right things to say. She knows how to go in there and talk about their family and things of that nature. When people die, send flowers and all that good stuff. So we're and within the community, Jeff, you talked about having a common cause. We keep saying that we're on a war against poverty. Poverty is our enemy. It's not a person. It's not a political party. It's not any. The poverty is our enemy. We got a big sign in the front of our office on the wall that says, "We will fight. We will win." Because in our culture, we want to create fighters that's going to go out and fight for that dream. And we are unified in that, you know what, we ain't perfect, but we are unified in knowing that the mission is above any of our personalities. The mission trumps our insecurities, that this war on poverty, we're fighting a war on poverty in the lives of our clients, as well as in the lives of the agents that we serve. So those are just some of the things that, that we're doing in the office to build community and to make people, oh, and don't forget food. Food always helps. Food and music are two things that are unanimous for bringing, or synonymous for bringing people together. So once a week, we have Miss Cheryl in our office. She's an agent who's kicking butt and taking names. She brings in, most of the time, she brings in some Jamaican food. We have tacos and all sorts of stuff to get people active and involved and coming around. And last thing I'll say about community is this right here. It's hard to get beat by yourself. When this business can be very lonely. So if you're on an island of isolation and you're dialing by yourself, getting those rejections on the phone or objections on the phone can take you out. But if you dial around the team and you hear somebody else get an objection and they fight through it, or somebody hang up on them and they start dialing again, it gives you confidence. Winning gives confidence. Winning creates momentum, and momentum covers a lot of errors. And to be clear, we got errors, but we also have momentum on our side right now. So new people are getting started faster because they're coming into an environment that has been, we have been praying for an environment like this. God is sending us the right people who want to buy in. Is everybody buying into what we're trying to do? No. We have people on our team that want to do their own thing, and I am okay with that. But what I do know is that just because people don't buy in initially doesn't mean that you have the wrong vision. As long as you know that you're doing the right thing for the right reason, God will send people that will buy into what you're doing. You just can't quit. So that's kind of some of the things that we're doing. Jeff, thank you. Thank you and Nancy so much for what you have done for our team. Not every day that you find people who don't financially benefit off of what they're doing be willing to reach out and help you. And we meet at a very inconvenient time for Jeff. We meet on Monday nights at 9 p.m. We cut into Nancy's time, honey. But Jeff, I just don't know how to express your gratitude. My gratitude towards that me and Tia have for you, for getting in the fight with us when you didn't have to, and fighting for our team, and helping me communicate our vision of what we want the Dream Factory to be in a way that is resonating with people. And more importantly, we're touching the hearts of men. Small dreams does not stir the soul of men, but it's big dreams, big visions. And while we're on this battle, Jeff, thank you so much for helping me carry this load, because my shoulders are not wide enough to do it by myself. And if it wasn't for you, bro, it would be much more difficult. So thank you for what you've done for our group. I really do appreciate you from the bottom of my heart.
Terry, you're so welcome, my friend. You're a good person. Good people need to succeed in this world. And if I can help any of you, I will. I'll say this about Terry. That place that I go called the Dream Factory, I'm looking down here at two things that jump out of me, because he is the epitome of creating a united mindset. They have good morale. His positive outlook creates confidence in people, and that confidence creates loyalty in his people. Another thing I see when I go to the Dream Factory is he has a sense of solidarity with the group. They have agreement and disagreement, but it never affects the action. I think it's just all about that unity. And you notice I didn't do my Dave Chappelle unity. I didn't do that. I wanted to do that. All right. Moving on. Yeah.
I'm sorry. Jeff, and like, to get that unity, it's a combination of humility of the leader and humility of the followers. It's mutual humility to serve one another.
when me and Andy talk about this, the 8 steps, to me, I mean, we have dissected those 8 steps together. And I think me and him have decided, one of the most important ones is what you're talking about, Terry, is being teachable. That's the people who succeed in this business, the ones that'll reach out, lean in, and be teachable. That humility, that's what you need to make it in this business. Lou was talking about that yesterday. I'm going to talk to Lou here in a second. And that's what it was about, Lou, is about, your message was loud and clear. Let's get people to reach out. Community, is the theme today because it comes out of the house book, the House of Behaviors, House of Values and Behaviors. I didn't create those 8 core values. Andy picked those 8 core values, and he picked community for a reason. And I'm thinking sometimes that was sort of like a second thought to most people, and we started thinking about excellence first and being accountable. But I'm gonna tell you what, being in a community and learning to be in a community is what this business is going to be about moving forward. So thank you, Terry. And Lou, let's talk about, I just want you to talk about David a little bit today, and a win. We just need to hear some wins. Lou, when I look at you, I think what comes to mind is you're good at, Terry's good at creating a united mindset. You're good at getting people to take ownership. You're really good at that, Lou. Vince Lombardi said, Lou, individual commitment to a group effort. That's what makes teamwork, is individual commitment to the group. And you, somehow or another, you make everything they do, every dial, every appointment, every part of the process is important to Lou. Lou leaves nothing to guesswork. And he makes his people understand that the significance of making that commitment. So, Lou, could you tell us, David's probably listening. I don't want to put him on the spot, but he wasn't doing too good when we first met him, was he, Lou?
So David's been with us about 3 years now, and he had a lot of health issues, a lot. But he also had other issues. It just wasn't writing. And he probably wrote 5-6 deals in the 3 years he was here. And a couple of months ago, he just was fed up, sick and tired of being sick and tired. And we started working with him. As soon as I heard about what you were doing, this is perfect. David got on, started listening, started doing what he had to do. Now he's writing 3.5. He's averaging 3.5 deals a week for the past month or 5 weeks or so. And it's amazing. I hate to sound like Terry again, but thank you very much. And yeah, you do spend a lot of time with us, and your wife gives you the time to spend with us, and I appreciate that as well. It's amazing what you're doing for. I know you use the word community. I like to use the word family, because this is a family, and it's not a second family. This is my first family. This is my wife, my kids, you guys. You're all part of my family. And helping David out. Yesterday, I mentioned to you while we were talking to him on Zoom, his posture has changed. He now feels he's part of this family. He can talk to people and say, I'm selling 3 deals a week. I'm selling 3.5 deals a week. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. And now he went from slump to he's proud. And it's been amazing watching him grow in the past 4 or 5 weeks with you, Jeff. I really appreciate that. I really do.
Well, you know what, Lou, the magic here is what you do with him. You're the reason he's this way, not me. I help kind of put this together, but what you're doing with him, Lou, you've saved this man's life. You're helping this man. I see 2 things I see in David now. He's very vested in the process. Yeah. Very big, and he doesn't mind. Once you become vested in a process, you don't mind putting some skin in the game. And it's not always money. Some of it's time. And that being vested, I saw it yesterday when, and you and me, Lou, have to give some credit to somebody else about this, because the man drives a good little bit down to Olga Mathis, his house.
Yep. I was
You
just
know,
going to keep doing it.
Olga may be the unsung hero here that saved this man. Tell him how far he drives and how Olga's helped him.
So he was dialing here for a while, and it was working a little bit for him, but he was getting a lot of pushback, and he kept, so I figured, you got the same accent, pretty thick. Go down to Olga. Let's talk to Olga. And he went there one Thursday, and he called me up there like a little kid on Christmas. Olga gets the same objections I do. She gets hung up on. She gets this. She gets that. He goes, but she just laughs and just keeps dialing the phone. And it's over a 4-hour drive for him to get there every Thursday and come home. And what he does now is he actually is doing income producing activities. So what he'll do is he goes on a Wednesday night to his son's house who lives down there. But on the way down, he door knocks. He stops on the way, does a couple hours of door knocking. And then he goes straight to his son, spends the night Wednesday. And then he's at Old's house at 8:30 in the morning until he's done. And then he'll door knock the next day, coming home as well. He does, besides his appointments, he'll do door knocking in between. But Olga, like when he talks about Olga, like I hear angels in the background when he talks about it, like, ah. And I was telling Olga last night how thankful I am. And she actually had him speak to a few people at her dial session yesterday who were struggling. And he felt like he was on top of the mountain that she allowed him to speak. So it was pretty cool. It really was cool. All this is just a family thing that we're doing for each other. And people don't understand what we're doing. We're not just making somebody rich. We're making somebody alive. We're giving them hope. We're giving them so much to live for. It's amazing.
Yeah, we're making them whole again. David had a big old hole.
Yeah.
He needed us to help him fill it. And he ain't going back. He ain't going backwards. No. He's not going backwards again. And I'm so proud of him. So proud of him. And, Lou's creating his community Zoom, a couple people at a time. Lou will tell you, sometimes we put people on there and they don't work out. That's fine too. Trial and error. It's trial and error. I will say this. Here's a good quote that leading into talking to Mr. Kyle Harry over here is Thomas Edison said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways it won't work." These Zooms, are trial and error. We're going to invite people in the family and, hey, it's not for them. They can go back to doing what they want to do. But if you want to participate in this community Zoom, it's a family. Come on. We're the Statue of Liberty. Come on. I tell you what, I think our greatest weakness as human beings is that we easily give up. And the most certain way to succeed on this earth is to try one more time. But also to try to begin with, to actually get in the fight and try, even though you might fail, and you probably will fail. But to be a good citizen of this community, Kyle will tell you, we ran into a lady the other day, Kyle. I'm still blown away. It may have affected me the most so far, what Gilda, I was not expecting that to come out of her mouth. I was not. And I was amazed by her, Kyle. Can you tell our family on this call a little bit about Gilda?
Absolutely. Thanks for having me on the call, first off, Jeff. It's a privilege and an honor to be around these heavy hitters and legends in the industry, including yourself. And what you've done for us already is just tremendous. I can't thank you enough. And Gilda, she's fired up. She's actually working right now. She's trying to sneak on the call, but she's definitely going to watch it. So Gilda has a similar story to Olga coming on. Her English is not the best.
Mm-mm.
So yeah, she's nervous making dials, booking appointments, working. But her first sale, that's what you want me to talk about, right? How she got into that.
Yeah, let me set it up for you because, Kyle had me on the phone. Kyle has that little grin anyway. So Kyle's sitting there. We have this community Zoom that we do, and she was new to it, right? And I could tell she's struggling with English really bad. It was really broken. I was having a hard time understanding. Kyle just kept saying over and over, "Hey, Jeff," he would lean in. "Hey, Jeff, she's smart." We're sitting there going, I'm sitting there going, what the hell's that got to do with it? Jeff, she's smart. And I just kept on going, all right, I'll play along. And she hasn't been in this country, too long, but long enough, but she still struggles. And she got her license, and I said, well, have you made a sale? And what she said next is what blew me away, because I have been trying to get some of you out there to learn how to sell an IUL. You've got some downtime. Andy Albright's got a step in the 8-step that says read. Why don't you read on how to sell learn how to sell an IUL? And you fight me on it because you say it's too hard. Well, guess what Gilda's first sale was? Kyle, tell her.
IUL, baby. You helped out a niece of hers. Actually got her license in a different state, New Jersey, just to be able to help her out. And she wanted to learn more about the IUL, so I guided her. I helped her. She took the course in the university. All of a sudden, she's a pro on IULs, and that's her first sale. She helped out a family member with an IUL. And she sounded dang good explaining it to you as well.
Yes, she did. I thought when she said that, I'm like, you don't even know what an IUL stands for. Well, she proceeded to tell me that and more, much more. I was like, well, why don't you try to sell me one?
Hey, Jeff.
Yeah.
She's smart.
Terry, we ain't got, see, Kyle ain't even told you what the smart meant. Kyle let me go right down this path. He knew where he was taking me. And then I stumbled into what he meant by smart, didn't I? She went to the university. I'd never figured out what university she was talking about. What country was that she's talking about, Kyle? I don't know. But she got a degree, and I said, well, what did you get a degree in? Communication. I thought that was ironic. She is smart. Right, Kyle?
Very intelligent, yeah. Yeah, she ain't scared to get up in there. A little nervous, but she's working through it. She's doing her research, and then she's just getting her feet wet. She's just jumping in there. So proud of her for doing that. I'm just so pumped from meeting her. She don't understand. I could put her on every call I got and shut some people up. But she, I asked her what her biggest weakness was. I would vote that it's the language barrier. But she said, she's a golden retriever, and she said, I'm a little shy. That's my biggest weakness. I'm sitting there going, everything else, your work ethic is going to just completely devour this shyness. After I was on the call for about 5 minutes, she wasn't shy no more when she was explaining. She came off very professional. I was just so impressed, Kyle. And Kyle, you're doing a great job getting these people on the call. You got another girl in there. Her name is Olga, right? That's correct. Her name is Olga, and she's from Colombia. So very similar story. I'm looking for Olgas out here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They work, man. They ain't scared to get up in there and work. So, and this one is named Olga. She's actually going to Colombia today for 2 weeks. And I told her to hop on the call. She's going to listen in. But fired up about her as well. And she ain't scared to get up in there and help some families. She went on her first appointment, wrote 2 applications this week. So, yeah.
That's, this is what this is all about. Those of you that are tuning in and trying to figure out what these calls we're doing with these leaders. And I'm just participating in that and trying to, be the administrator of that meeting. But gosh, we're getting people that wasn't doing anything to write at least 4 apps a month. You might think that's nothing, but you know what 4 apps lead to? 8 apps a month. You know what 8 apps lead to? 12 apps a month. Now, if I can get the masses with these calls, and we get our recruits that we're bringing in, and I have a 6-month plan. Kyle knows about it, Lou knows about it. It's called the 6-month challenge, and in 6 months, if you do what Kyle says, you do what Lou says, and you let me guilt you to death, we'll get you doing 12 apps a month, 5,000 issue paid a month in 6 months. If you listen to these leaders, we can do it. We got a plan. We can make it happen. Kyle, I'm proud of you, buddy.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate everything you do for us.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Now, I got a guest on here today, Amanda. Amanda, are you ready to talk?
Yes.
Now, your mom was going to pop on here, but she didn't. You know, I was trying to get mother and daughter on here. You know, your mom is starting to submit a lot of applications. I know you and her talk about it, right?
Yes. Every day we'll send our numbers to each other.
She's I'm fired up about what she's doing. I'm real fired up about what you're doing. We started talking a couple of months ago, something like that.
Yes, right after family reunion, when you launched, or when you were on stage and you talked about what you were doing with individuals. I had reached out to you as you were still on stage, and I'm sure you got hundreds of text messages, but you responded to mine. And I just said I would really, really love to be a part of your program, and you've made time for me, and I really appreciate that.
You're welcome. You're welcome. I have you on here because, you know, I like to have somebody on here that I'm working with individually, but, you know, Amanda's numbers are getting better and better. And we're now talking about, right, Amanda, creating your own Zoom community.
Yes.
And you got about, 5 people we're going to try to put on that?
Almost 7, and they're all in Wisconsin, so it's super exciting. We're starting to pave a way up here, get some more people, not only on our team, but throughout the entire state. So we're really excited about that.
Can you, for the folks that don't understand, you know, being on because what you do for a living is very similar to what the program I have you on, right? It's like an exercise program, isn't it?
A little bit, yeah.
Yep. So, you were in the beginning. How many apps were you writing in the beginning when we first started talking?
It was very inconsistent. There were weeks where I'd write anywhere from 1 to 3, 4 apps, and then I wouldn't write anything for an entire month. Very, very inconsistent. So some weeks were great, and then I'd go 3, 4 weeks with doing absolutely nothing. And
so now you're writing, you know, every week, and we talk every week, and we update your numbers. And what's this month going to look like? How many apps you're going to submit?
So our goal, or like we've said, like minimum 4. I think we'd like to do at least 12, and 20 would be like your best month ever and stuff. So really, I know we're talking at least 8 apps for the month of October, at least 8. Which may not sound like a lot, but I think the most exciting part is every week since family reunion, I've had an app submitted and I've had activity. And that is the first time since I began with the Alliance that's happened.
That's great. That's great. That's what this is all about. This is what this is all about. You guys, man, you guys get me fired up. You give me purpose. I mean, what I see from Amanda is, you know, is one thing that I can get people to get. You know, Isaac Newton said, bodies at rest, stay at rest. But the magic is being faithful to a routine where you stay busy. I can get anybody to be busy, but staying busy. The consistency of it. Small wins. It may be a small win when you hear the number 8. It's a big win for Amanda. And I celebrate that with her. Listen, neuroscience tells us that each small success along the way triggers the brain's reward system to release this feel-good dopamine that helps us concentrate and stay focused and try to get one more. But yes, Lou?
Base hits win games. Singles win games. Not all about the home runs.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So this is the kind of story. This is the kind of success. Amanda is the model. This is what we need moving forward. We need these people that can do 4 and 8 and 12. And then we'll look at moving her numbers. She knows that once she gets consistent, we're going to look at moving her numbers. So I think, wait a minute, hold on a second. just give me just a second. Let's see here. Okay. All right. I'm just checking. I'm checking, guys, because we're actually going to have a very, very special guest join us here, and it's just about 5 minutes or so. We're going to have a very, very special guest. It's a surprise, big surprise. So y'all need to stay on because I'm going to bring him on. All right. So we got a little bit of time before my special guest comes on here, Lou. I'm not going to give y'all any guesses about who it is, because I don't want to play that game. But I had started something I didn't finish. And listen, you want to know more about these animals, create a Zoom, community Zoom. I will talk about animals to you're nauseated. You know, I mean, everybody likes to talk about these animals. I am shocked that you still want to talk about these animals, but there's a lot of material that I have never covered. I will continue to do that on the community Zooms every week. I've added 5 new community Zooms just this week. I have added them at night, so I will be filing for divorce pretty soon. Just letting y'all know. I say that because my wife just left. We got to go to a wedding tonight. That always makes her in a good mood, I hope. So I was talking about validating people. You know, we want to validate people. And within the community, we have to validate people constantly. I was validating people today on this call. Terry knows what I'm talking about. We got to validate people. But listen, the 4 animals want to be validated 4 different ways. And it's the 4 A's, the 4 A's of validation. So if you want to validate me, the otter, the big ego, you know, all my bigness, you want to validate me. The A word is you want to somehow admire me. Admire me. If you want me to do whatever you want, you start admiring me. You admire me for my accomplishments. Listen to the word, not the accomplishment, my accomplishment. All right? Or if you're talking to an otter, you know, look at me, your accomplishments, okay? Their enthusiasm. You want to admire their enthusiasm that creates this accomplishment, the accomplishment that we're talking about here. All right. Now, the lion, you want to affirm the effort, not their effort, the effort. The effort of completing a task, getting it done from start to finish. That affirmation is a form of respect. That's what affirmation is a form of respect. The lion wants to be respected for the results they're getting. You want to affirm their results, the effort that they're putting in to get the results. Respect of the task being completed. That's what they get off on. Now, the beaver, you want to appreciate the work they're doing. Not so much the results, but the work that it takes to get the results. And you want to get in the weeds and talk about the details within the work, within the journey to get the results. Appreciate the work they're doing. And look at the details and be in awe of the fact that they have absolutely thought of everything along the way. That kind of stuff, kind of like, I'm not good at that. I have to remind myself that they don't want me to appreciate their heart at all. They want me to appreciate the work they're doing to get a result. A lion don't care about you appreciating their work. They just want you to affirm the results that they got. See, 2 different things. And then the golden retriever, you want to accept their heart. If you accept their heart, you're basically want to know, asking them to tell you about the passion that's within their heart. That's what they want to express, is this passion they have for what they're doing. and how it's heartfelt, and you want to accept that. You don't want to judge that. You don't want to try to alter that. You don't want to make comments to it. You just want to accept their heart and the passion and the love that they carry in their heart. That's what you want to accept. Don't appreciate them. Don't affirm them. Don't admire them. Accept them. Admire the golden. Affirm the lion. Appreciate the beaver, and accept the golden. That's the 4 types of validation that you do with the 4 types of animals. And there's a whole lot more that goes along with that. And I can do it on any of your community Zooms. I got 8 hours of animal stuff. I can just get started on this stuff. But I am learning and trying to put in writing how to recognize these animals without a test. I am working my butt off. I'm reading everything I get up my hands on to try to figure out how to figure out what we're looking at without giving them a test. It's not an exact science, but I am looking at body language. I am looking at the way they arrange their house. I'm looking at everything that could give you a cue, that could give you a leg up when you go in that home. So I'm researching my butt off on it. I'm going to try to make this a reality. I think this would help you guys moving forward. Okay. I hope that was some good stuff. I enjoyed listening to my folks here. We didn't get Amanda's mother on. She's doing similar things, right, Amanda? She's doing very similar things that you are doing. She's fired up, right?
Yes, she actually had an appointment that got rescheduled to right in the middle of this call. But she just said if there was anything to tell you guys, just looking for the little victories that build confidence. You know, when you book that appointment or when you sell that appointment or sell that, you know, it's those little things. And she always told me, like, in the beginning when you're nervous for dialing, stack 5 leads, and you can't leave your desk. You can't do anything. You got to call those 5 leads. And once you call those 5, then you can get up and do a lap around your house, you know, and it's building confidence through doing little actions and little victories like that. So she wanted me to tell you all that.
Okay. Thank you for sharing that. I'm glad we got a little piece of her on this call today. All right. So I want to introduce special guest. Y'all might know him. You might know him as the person that is the architect of the Alliance. It's the reason we're all here. I mean, you all want to, listen, you all want to give me a lot of praise for helping you guys. Guess who allowed me to do all this? Who said, hey, let's move you from doing this. Let's let you start doing this full time and helping these agents. This was Andy's idea, and this has been more fun than anything I've done so far. And I appreciate it, Andy, for you allowing me to get in these people's lives and try to make a difference with these folks. I can't be who I am without Andy allowing that to happen. So I want to say thank you to Andy. And without further ado, is Andy Albright here? I don't know. Probably, I thought I timed that just about right, but maybe I didn't. Oh, there he is. There he is.
Log in. What audio is coming through on? You want me to switch into that camera? I wonder what audio. No, I just wonder what audio is coming through on. Can you hear me, Jeff?
I can hear you now. Yeah, we can.
I'm not sure what audio it's coming through on. Hey, Jeff, that's pretty much, you said that's the most fun you've had outside of something.
Yeah.
Hey, let's see, I'm talking to the back of your head. Can you hear me? Can you hear me if I'm talking like this?
Yep. Yep.
All right. So a couple things I want to mention. First of all, I've been on here the whole time, even though my camera wasn't popped up. It's incredible stuff you're doing, man. I'm proud of what you're doing. It's making a big difference in people's lives. And I hear talk about it all around the country about how you're getting more consistent. And a lot of it is what I've heard, Jeff, is you're not like Mr. little Mr. Puffy, just agreeing with everything they do and letting them be screw offs and letting them be, slackadaisical. You're like, what's wrong with you? Like, we had an agreement. And I just think that's great because, I was talking to Brandon just coming in on a jet. We flew in from Atlanta, and I was like, you know what? Either people are with you or they're not with you. I mean, come on, man. This is what we do. We recruit, we sell, we build, we travel, we do. And in your case, you've been killing it on the sales, but now you're killing it on getting them to bring other people. Like the things we do. Good job. Way to go. I'm not sure if word's getting out this, but if all brand new people, we're going to give them 40,000 points toward the trip next year. Now, we'll talk about that a lot on Aruba. While we're in Aruba, we're going to be in Aruba in 22 days, I think. That's when we're headed there. We are, so all they got to do to get to 40,000 points is show up at the national convention. And the national convention show is, it's building up. Like the things that we're going to have. We got Fat City. And let me tell you how good Fat City is. It has Mac Hefner's daddy is in this band. There's a 9-man band, baby. It is crazy. And that's going to be on Thursday night just to get us warmed up. I have talked to Megan Wood, and she says there's a couple of secrets she's been holding out, how that she is 4X anybody in the top 20. She's about 4X, 400% times bigger than she said. I'm going to wait until January, and I'm going to tell them so that 2022 just blows up. Andy Riddle's got some secrets he's going to lay out too. So the show is building, okay? Friday night, we're going to have the Perfect 10 band, which is another nonstop party. Let me tell you this. They got like 5 of them can sing and dance and put on a show, so there's never a break. They're just boom, 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 boom. So Friday night, it's just going to be mounting up, man. It's going to be crazy. The intensity. All the carriers are fired up about it. Let's get 2,000 brand new people there. Fast track people. I've noticed that everybody's learning how to drive jet all of a sudden. Like, how do we figure that out? But it's starting to happen. So, and I think that's probably, you got a hand in that also, Jeff. We just went to Dallas, Denver, Savannah, and Atlanta, and it was absolutely smoking. People bouncing off the walls. If you see, I got it zoomed in now, but I got a crowd in here. We're game planning what we're going to do in the next 90 days. And every one of you guys are already on this list. The ones that I'm looking at, Terry and Lou and Amanda and Prince. We got this thing lined up. Did you hear me say Prince? So we got this thing lined up, how we're going to attack the country and try to put 4,000 or 5,000 people together at our national convention. Now, tomorrow we are going to celebrate the life of Chris Long. A lot of us are going to be there. Not all of us can be there. Some of us got COVID. Some of us got babysitting, and some of us didn't know the man. And some that's sticking, working on your business. That's fine. We're going to celebrate it, and we know you're with us. If you don't make it, trust me, we know you're with us. Everybody loves Chris. Now let me tell you something. Here's the deal. Chris's business is exploding. And his wife, Courtney, is not having to jump in. You with me? And if one of those girls or both of those girls want to take over, it's up to them. They don't want to. Courtney can run it. It don't matter. It's going to continue to live. You hear what I'm saying? It's going to continue to live. That's what the alliance is. Oh, and let me be clear. We do life insurance. It's meant to be there when the inevitable happens. Most people don't plan. Chris Long planned. Massive. He did the right thing. Life insurance will be the legacy. His love, his excitement, his teamwork, everybody. That's going to be his legacy. his children's children's children will talk about him. He ain't gonna die because his name's gonna be keep called. You're gonna hear it. I was on the phone 3 times to a 19-year-old who's fired up out of his mind. Already got 6 people that's fired up out of their mind, ready to get rocking. It's going to get out of control. And what I want to do is just blow it up in the next 90 days. So I want to let y'all know that. Make sure you heard about the 40,000 and congratulate Jeff Wright on everything you're doing to help us and everybody that's working with Jeff. Jeff, I appreciate you, man. Anything big, I'm good. Love y'all. Thanks for letting me jump there.
Thank you, Andy. Appreciate it.
Thank you, man.
Thank you.
All right, so that's what we're planning on doing, is picking some cities.